I am beautiful inside and out, delivered to me by Grow Coffee. Then tell me how you do it. That's what I had last week. Aye. Mine just I spilled it. And Alex Kate. Right, I get you back. I was actually thinking that in the mind.
An Empire biscuit, sorry it's not.
So before we go into anything else, right? So what? It'll probably all 40 bits, man, but it doesn't matter. It's still worth a go.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
When was the last time I ran down a hill?
That's it.
Hello LinkedIn, me again. Thank you very much for joining us on today's show. So we're going to have an absolutely fantastic show, and our guest today, we've actually been trying to get her on for a wee while, but we just keep missing each other. But you're here now, Karen. So Karen is an events manager, right, and she does some absolutely outstanding stuff. But today what we're here to actually talk about is one of the kind of main big events that she's did in the past, which is close to our heart, and I now know it's very close to Karen's heart, which is the COP event. So we talk a lot about sustainability on the show and how passionate we are about it. Obviously, Karen's now seen it from a different angle. Mm-hmm. So obviously, sustainability, some people believe in it, some people don't. Climate change, climate action, all that kind of stuff. So there's people on every side, different sides of a fence. But what you get all the time is you've got what you hear in the media, right? And then you've got what people like me and my business who are advocates of it talk about, and then you've got hundreds of stuff in between. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to try and do in half an hour today, Karen, is we're going to try and fill that gap to see what all that stuff in the middle is all about.
Yep.
That good?
That sounds good, yeah.
Right, okay, before we get started then, get two things we need to do, we always do. Big thanks to Bold Mango Media. Andrew, what do you think of the studio?
Oh, it's lovely.
Lovely,
very professional.
Yeah, it's very
lovely.
professional. Well seen, Andrew didn't know me. So thank you, Andrew, and we need to give a big shout out to Grow. So I can't wait till you tell everybody what you've got to drink. Right?
I was waiting on this.
Aye, so I thought I was bad when I had to go and ask for a raspberry ice matcha latte.
Yeah.
Tell them, the audience or the people who are watching, what I had to ask for today.
A London fog. So, but with almond, I have it with almond milk.
Right.
So a London fog is basically Earl Grey tea, half hot water, half steamed milk, and then it's got vanilla in it.
Honestly, as I say,
yeah.
I think everybody that seems to be coming on the show as guests and working around us just likes me getting in there and asking for these abnormal things. Aye, and at least yours, you explained it to me when I got asked for the ice matcha latte. I thought somebody was actually taking the mick.
Yeah.
But no, I found
maybe
out
not as
today,
trendy as a matcha, but
is it
no.
I've not got my trendy matcha today. I've went back to a coffee because I've not had anything today. So I'm a wee caramel latte today, but I am beautiful inside and out. What did you say?
I love you every day.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
We've only just met.
I know. I'm honestly brilliant. I'm actually really pleased with that. Right, so show your cake.
Oh,
but by the way, so Karen and I have already had a wee bit of ours. Right, so hold it up there and you can see it.
Sorry, my cherry's gone.
So another Empire biscuit.
Empire biscuit.
Everybody that watches the show knows how big the Empire biscuits are. And then I've got one of those wee cookie mountain thingamajiggies with caramel. So thank you again, Grow, and thank you very much, Karen, for joining us.
No, happy to be here.
Tell us a wee bit about what you do. So you're obviously you're an events manager. So what does that entail, and what's the kind of stuff you've done in the past before you went to COP?
So in the past, this is a long road. So I basically started at like sporting events,
right.
So like in the hospitality sections. So it's like hostessing and different things like that. So it was kind of like high-end sporting events, and then I just got experience in a lot of different industries, and then went into hospitality for a few years, where I was doing events, weddings, so lots of planning, lots of operational work. And then I went freelance 5 years ago, and have been lucky enough to work with a client called the Resilience Hub, which is who I'm working with currently. Yep. And basically my role with them is programming. So I run all their programming for the likes of London Climate Week, New York Climate Week, and the COPs that we go to. And the purpose of the Resilience Hub is it's a platform and a connector for those that are either it's an individual, a community, or an organisation that work within resilience and adaptation within the climate space, and it's to give them a kind of platform to showcase either like their projects or get themselves in front of certain audiences to kind of help their profile, or just connect people to partner and do a bit of good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I explained to and talked about Audrey Duckworth, who runs our ESG team. I think you two are going to end up having a few conversations after today, because I think that, like, so for us as a business, and we spoke about COP, and we'll get to that a bit later on, we said that there's a lot of people that go to a lot of these types of events that are maybe not there for the right reasons. Right,
Yes.
so there's businesses that go there that are just trying to sell stuff, right? And but we when Kate and Alana, when they went to COP, the one in Abu Dhabi, I think it was it Abu Dhabi? 2 years ago.
It would have been Dubai then.
Dubai was, sorry,
yeah.
not Abu Dhabi. When they went there, they thought it was going to be lots of companies talking about how you can be more climate positive and things that they could do that. But see, when you looked at our space, it's just people trying to sell sensors and try to sell stuff. There was nobody actually really focused on, right, okay, how do we reduce your energy consumption across your business? So we're hopefully going to get there one in next year or the year after, and we can actually go there and say, right, this is what we think the purpose of this type of thing should be, is actually going there to try and make a difference, not actually sell stuff.
Which a lot of people already do.
Yeah.
So I think it is, it's connecting with the right people, I suppose, and see who's going each year as well, because sometimes it is dependent on the accessibility of the event itself.
Yeah.
So,
So we talked about, obviously, we'll not go into the whole political messages.
yeah.
If we do have time, we will go into it. We'll
Okay.
just slate some folk, right? But if we don't, then we don't.
Yeah.
But you see these things from a few different angles and through a few different lenses. So what's your kind of thoughts on the whole kind of COP and what's going on in the world with regards to sustainability and climate action and all that kind of stuff?
I think working in that space has kind of opened my eyes to what it actually is and what people are actually doing about it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm not saying I'm not an average person, but if I hadn't gone down the road of working where I'm working now, I probably would just be reading the same messages, not really aware of what people are doing, what the innovation is, what people out in the communities that are most affected, what they are having to do, the innovations that are in place or that are trying to be put in place. So I think it's, I don't think we have a full grasp of the depth of it and what work is being done, I guess, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Somebody said this, I mean, this is slightly political, but somebody said, I heard a quote that was like, we pay attention to the show horses and not the work horses. And it is very true in that world as well. There's so much work that is being done in every country, every type of community. But I think we don't really see that. But I think you have to also look. You have to actually go into look into it as well.
You need to want to know.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
But,
yes.
So there's it's the same as so many things where ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Yeah, and I think I said that when we chatted briefly, that if it doesn't directly affect you like immediately, then we can be a wee bit blind to it, or just go, well, it's not, that's there, that's not here, but it is kind of like we're all in amongst it.
Yeah, because one of the things that we spoke about is obviously we have seen the whole kind of let's call it the publicity, let's call it publicity messaging change over the last 3 years in the UK, especially Scotland. Obviously, when COP came here, sustainability, climate change, climate action, all that kind of stuff was a big thing. It was a buzzword. It was getting talked about all the time. That was for maybe about a year and a half, 2 years. It's then just all started to peter away. So I think we've seen it, and I mean, as I said to you, we obviously were doing all these net zero accelerator programs and all this kind of stuff. It's now not a talked about thing at board levels. It's not really a talked about thing in the news. Nobody's really seen it, so everybody's just forgetting. Right?
And actually, Scotland are doing quite a lot. I mean, that's the thing I'll talk about as well, is that doing global events, I've kind of need to know more about what's happening here, because it's so vast that sometimes you do forget about your own country.
100%.
So that's given me a focal point of going, actually, I really need to know more about what's going on here. But Scotland are actually are still proactive.
Yeah,
They're very
yeah.
proactive, but you don't really hear about
No.
it unless, again, you go looking.
And that's the thing, because you're now getting access to information that let's say your average Joe doesn't have access to unless they're really going hard to look at it. So you're seeing, and you're getting information on what the challenges and the outputs and the things that are happening to the world. So you're hearing about all these things, but you're also hearing about some of the things that are actually good that are going on, that are actually there trying to address these challenges. But that's the thing that, I mean, people only see, your average Joe only sees and hears what social media and the news and the media is talking about, right? How much it's true, I would say, no, probably not a lot of it. There's an in-between somewhere. But you're actually getting more probably factual information because it's not just there for a political or a sales message.
Yes, yeah.
And so do you think, so see when we're talking about actually what's happening in the world, right, and you get hundreds of folks saying, that's a load of crap, right? Do you think that is a load of crap? Do you think do you think we are in a position just now where the climate's changing to an extent where it's actually damaging stuff?
Yeah, so with the project I work with, it's managed by more than one organisation, and one of them's a Global Resilience Partnership, and they work with a lot of scientists.
Right.
So they actually are based out in Stockholm University, so Stockholm Resilience Centre. So they work with like top-notch scientists that this is their field.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough to do some courses on like planetary boundaries or climate science. And that's the thing, if you get the facts from the people that are actually studying, researching, have been doing this for decades,
Yeah.
and you see it in front of you, it's very evident
Yeah.
that the humans have made a massive difference to the climate. Because I know people go, oh, but it's cyclical and it's always been cyclical and whatever. And there is an element of truth in that, but we have sped that up by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of % because of the way we live, and that's accelerating even more. So yeah, it's there, the data's there, and I don't think you can deny that.
Aye. I think there's I mean, the world has changed so much. Industrialisation has changed, and it's made the world a better place for people, right? We wouldn't have phones, we wouldn't have grow, right?
We wouldn't have London fogs.
London fog. But yes, there always has to be, with every yin, there's always a yang.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think that's where we are. But I get it, I'm the same as you. I hear a lot of people that say that they're naysayers and I say it all the time. I'm in no way, shape or form a tree hugger. That's not the type of person I am. But I'm saying, see if you can do something a bit better or a bit more efficient or a bit kind of that's got more of a sustainability focus. Why not? Right? If it's not making your life harder or costing you any more money, why not? So yeah, it's great to hear that there's obviously all this good going on. So I don't know if a lot of the stuff that you probably do is probably quite confidential, but is there anything you can share about anything that you know that is a good project that other people might not know about? Of
course, there's so many. I don't know if I can pick one. I think it's just having an awareness that there's a lot of communities across the world that are putting their circumstances to good use, if that makes sense. So they are directly affected by whether it's drought, extreme heat, and they are making changes and they're adapting in order to have longevity. Yeah. And I think that, I know that's very vague, it's not like an actual project, but there's so many that do that, whether it's having, even using AI and getting the right data, having these tools in place that can give them the right data, that give them a warning that this type of weather's about to come, so then they can prepare more. The insurance companies then invest in proactivity rather than reactivity. So it's more, there's just a lot of generals that I can see, because what I see, it covers a lot of ground.
Aye. Yeah.
So I don't really tap into one specific, because there's too many organisations. I mean, we deal with over 100 organisations a year, so it's quite a lot to kind of take in all that information. But I think it's just having that awareness that there are so many people that are already adapting and trying to adapt. And I think it's just even having that awareness that we might have to, or we are actually having to do that now. Yeah. And what resources do you have in your immediate, that you know, even if it's not having to do a community project or something regional or whatever, it's just having the awareness, I think.
Well, one of the things, because we used to, when we were doing, we still are just now, so we're doing a load of kind of carbon management plans and looking and helping companies decarbonise their business. And a big part of it is actually business resilience. So if you can generate your own energy and you can control most of your own destiny, it means you're a lot more resilient than you need to rely on a DNO to provide you energy. You need to rely on this company to do gas, this blah 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 blah. So it's not that you're just looking at trying to take carbon out your business. You're actually trying to make your business more sustainable and more resilient for whatever happens in the future. I mean, I know businesses just now that see right now, if I don't know, say for example there was a problem with the whole infrastructure of energy across Scotland.
What do they do?
You've maybe got 5 or 6 businesses that I know just now that would be all right because they've got solar, they've got batteries, they've got their own wee microgrids and all this kind of stuff. Right, so it's not that you're trying to prepare for an apocalyptic event, but at least then you're in control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And I think what you were talking about is there's countries that are trying to do this. So there's countries that are saying, right, okay, so if this happens, where are we sitting? How are we going to make sure that we are resilient? We're going to survive if something happens. I'll give you a quick example. So when I was, holy heck, it must have been 2012, right? I was at my first ever sustainability event, and it was a thing in Glasgow, and it was talking about obviously the climate change, and what it said is obviously the way that we were going at that point in time, by 2050, the sea level would have rose that much that there would have been X amount of towns that were going to be potentially flooded in the UK. And you're like, that. You don't really think about it like that. It's not as if it has to be a metre.
Yeah.
It has to, like, centimetres of rise in the sea level wipes out so much.
Yeah.
So these countries must be sitting going, right, okay, well, if that happens,
how do we manage
how do we manage it?
Yeah, and I think as well, like turning the tide of that, if we manage to get the temperature down and even level, it actually takes time for that to do its work. So it doesn't just go, all right, we're now on a downward curve.
Aye.
It has to, you know, there's like a process in that if we manage to kind of curb it. But yeah, and I think what you're saying about being resilient, I think historically resilience has been like, again, a reactive thing, like, oh, we've picked ourselves back up.
Aye.
And that usually happens when something bad happens
Yes.
or something major happens. Whereas I think it's that forward thinking of, well, if this, rather than going, oh, that's over there, that's not going to touch us.
That's never going to happen.
Actually, it's happening. It is happening. It's getting closer and closer.
Well, look at the Cairngorms.
Well, exactly.
You've
It's on
got
our doorstep.
major fires
Yep.
all over the place in
Yeah.
the Cairngorms. You're seeing it just now. They like, so there's power cuts all over the place. There's
Yep.
various different things happening. And folk will say, oh, that's nothing to do with that. But when was the last time we had a major fire across the Cairngorms? Or a major fire like that. You see it in America, you hear about it in America, you hear it about Australia, you hear about it in all these places that are really warm. I mean, it's been up by 2 or 3 degrees here and we've got a problem. Whether or not that was started by a person or glass being left or whatever, right? And don't get me wrong, it could probably be controlled better if we were more organised for that type of event happening.
Yeah.
Because it's the same as a lot of these things, we probably don't cover ourselves in glory when we're actually trying to respond to these emergencies. When you've seen it with all the floods and stuff like that down south, where you've got the same place that's flooded 4 times and it's wiping everything out every time like that, surely you learn for the first time.
Yeah. But it's having the right, it's having, I don't even know who's actually responsible, you know,
Aye.
because and I think that's another thing to touch on, you, because you'd said, can you give me an example? And it's so hard because every area's requirements will be different. Because I remember years, I think it was actually I think it was co-op in Glasgow. I remember, I think it was a mayor of one of our state, and she said that one side is in drought and one side's flooded. Right. So their whole thing was, how do we how do we manage, like, is it a case of can we store that water and filter that in a way that then we've got reserves that then help with, so they were trying to come up with initiatives that worked, but that isn't going to be a one size fits all, and then you can put that here and here. Like, people have to be really at a community, not community level, but a local, regional level, have to be looking at, right, what do we need here? Because they might see, oh, that's happening there, and if it doesn't resonate or isn't true, they go, oh, but that's, so then it's almost as if it's disconnected. So yeah,
I always say that. So see, obviously when we've been growing up, you always used to hear the hosepipe bans down south. Why do we not just give them some water? Like, we've got hundreds here. There's a hosepipe ban in London and you're standing out and it's absolutely pissing the rain. You're like, well, hold on a minute, right? We've got hundreds of rain, you've got none.
Yeah.
Why don't we give you some?
Yeah.
Right? So that's it. It's a great example of what you're talking about. There are two states. One's got excess of something, the other one's not got enough.
So how do you use the resources that you've got in order to
So I mean, the likes of just now, because back then, so see when I was talking about that thing in 2012, that's one of the things we were talking about was rain, water. It's one of Scotland's kind of key commodities because of the amount that we get, because of the way that our land is structured. So we will get obviously lakes and reservoirs and all that kind of stuff. Why are we not selling that? Right, so you're sitting going like that, right? It's a commodity that we've got enough of it. We can make more of it by a little bit of infrastructure and then provide it to other places. Why not? There you go, right? So the Scottish Government, if they're watching this, John Swinney, there you go, right? I know you watch the show, right? So get it together, sell water, probably worth more than whiskey in the next 10, 15 years.
Probably.
There you go. Well, there you
But
go.
yes, there you go. That is an example. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's sometimes doesn't take rocket scientists to do these kind of things. It sometimes just needs some people that are involved in these conversations that are going, right, what is the practical element?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So and the likes of from what you've learned through all these things. So the likes, is there any key messages that you think you would give to people? So because I bet back to your average Joe.
Yeah.
Your average Joe doesn't know.
I think just have an interest. You know, I think because it's a global issue, people think it's too big.
Aye.
And I know that people don't have all the resources, and I don't think one person can solve this problem by going, right, I have my own flowers in my garden and I have loads of bees and birds and I have a water butt that saves, you know, that's all great.
Aye.
And we can't solve that all together, but I think it's just like, just have a bit of an interest in it. Because you do, and the thing is, like, you do hear the same things every year. It's, we need to stop talking, we need to take action every single year, because people are trying to get to the right people, because it's down to money.
100%.
It's down to the people with power. But don't let that dissuade you from things that are already, like, are actually happening, and you can make small changes. Yeah. So I think it's just just look at the science, believe in the science, and if you can do anything, then do it.
So I think that's what one of the things that I've always said is lots and lots of small changes actually turn into something that's quite big.
Yeah, they do. And I believe that.
And I know that, so you hear a lot of people that go, well, what's the point in me doing this because China are ruining the world anyway? Right? You're like, I know, but at least take a bit of pride in your own community and try to help your own community. Right? Yes, we're never going to be able to fix the fact that China have got 100 coal-fired power stations, right? But we can still make a difference to where we were. And so I think it's trying to go over that hill of, right, okay, yes, you're maybe not going to be able to fix it all, but you can maybe do something that's a wee bit better.
Or even just supporting what's going on in your area. I know that there's loads of areas that have, like, hubs, whether it's community hubs or garden, you know, like gardens, or even supporting if your council put in green space. And I know that there's a million issues that the council could put money into, but if there is green space or something like that, there's actually a purpose to it. It's not just to make something look a bit pretty. We actually need that to survive. You know, so there's more meaning behind these things than
But do you think
you
the
know,
council ever tell anybody that?
but I was just thinking that. I was like, yeah, you probably wouldn't know
They don't.
that.
They just think it's, they're surprised they've not got any hooses on there yet. That's the type of thing that your normal person thinks.
Yeah,
right?
because I think I only thought about that because I think somebody talked about taking like a row of trees out in a street equals whatever rate of carbon dioxide going up because there's nothing to suck that out, and you think, oh God, it doesn't. It actually doesn't. It sounds really, really, really bad.
No.
So actually, I go, well, that's quite welcome then if you do have that, but there's got to be context.
But just on that, obviously, I was telling you about the post that I put up today. So this show got next week.
Oh, yeah.
So God knows how many people have thing with it. But again, it shows the breadth of people who are. Some of them are interested in the nature and the climate and all that kind of stuff, and some of them just like the fact that it looked like something else. It wasn't actually a forest. So for anybody that's watching this, you'll have seen it by now anyway, because most people watch this already follow. So the Bobby Woods, and the way up from them from when you're coming back up from England. But that for me was actually like I was sitting there. It was like, that's absolutely tragic. Found out now that they're going to get replanted, which is great. But that post has went absolutely viral. As I say, some because of that. No way, it's a landmark.
It's like an institution.
It is, aye. It's iconic, and then obviously you get people coming in that are obviously that know a hell of a lot more than me about it. Went, no, these trees actually only grow to a certain size, then you need to take them down, and then for new ones to grow, because it comes up to a stage where they become unhealthy. And you're going, do you know what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So no, I think through speaking to you, one of the big things that I was learning was that there is a lot of good going on.
Yes.
No matter what you hear in the news, no matter what you see anywhere else, there is a lot of good happening in the world for these kind of things. But I think now a lot of them are silenced, right? Through, we're only going to talk about politics. We are going to talk about politics a wee bit, but I think they're silenced to a certain extent. We see it in the UK now, where if you look at, obviously, you had SNP and the Greens together, so everything was about the Green thing. And by the way, the Greens are idiots, right? And I'm going to say that live on this show because some of the stuff they say is absolutely bonkers. But the philosophy of what we were trying to do as a country was great. We're going to try and make a big impact and try to reduce our carbon across the country. But that's all gone. I mean, I don't know, when was the last time you heard of anything in the Scottish news talking about climate resilience as a country? It's just gone. So, but as you say, there's lots of great things happening.
Yeah, super proactive, yeah.
So there's all these great things happening, but we don't hear about them anymore. And that's just because it's not a hot topic anymore that's going to get anybody re-elected, right? So do you see the good that happening? So let's bring it back a step to, there is lots of good happening. Would you agree with that? Yeah. So even though people aren't hearing about it, in the background, there's lots of good stuff taking place that will hopefully be put in place, innovation, whatever else, to help our planet in the future.
Yeah, because even your big corporates are investing in innovation projects out in Africa, Southeast Asia. Like there's, the people are investing in projects. So there are definitely good bits out there, despite what we hear and despite what people believe or don't believe.
Yeah. And everybody's entitled to their own view and their own opinion.
Of course. I was meaning more the higher level people that are, it's not in their... It's not in their...
Karen, tell everybody.
Not in their interest because it doesn't fit the narrative to their business and their money-making
100%.
trajectories.
And it's just not just the business, it's back to we don't want to go into too much about politics, but politics are all about trying to make sure that they can stay in their seats and stay at getting elected and that kind of stuff. So depending on what way the social media kind of swings the average people, that's where that's the new message that comes out.
Yeah.
So it's jumping on something that's currently a hot topic, and then that decides the narrative of what a lot of the time the politics does. And I think that, in my opinion, that's wrong. At the end of the day, politicians should be there to try and help us be more prosperous in the future, not to get themselves re-elected. Yeah,
and that's why I look at what's actually happening, what people are actually doing, rather than just what you hear the top level on the
How
news.
how could your so if somebody's watching this right now, like Audrey, right? Come on, you get any way they can find out?
I think Audrey's better.
She will know.
She'd be more equipped than me.
Aye. But and it's because I'm going to we're going to run out of time soon. But one of the things that and the reason I get involved in the net zero space and looking at that in a bit more detail is, so when I started the business, I'm looking at, right, okay, reliability of their equipment. If that's running as efficiently as possible, they're going to use less energy. Right, so that was our whole philosophy. Reliability and energy, reliability and sustainability are intertwined. One goes, the other one is affected by it. So I said, well, right, we need to know what we're talking about in this. So if we're going to be going there and telling the world that we're going to help make the site more efficient, we need to understand it. So I went onto the internet and started Googling stuff, and I get more questions back than I did get any answers.
Okay.
Just like, also, what is how can I? No, I wasn't. I probably know more than I know now then. But like, so I was saying, so how can you talk about climate action within a business, right? And then it would come back with climate positive, planet positive, this, that, the next thing. So the jargon that was coming out was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was trying to research stuff, and I went, I'm sitting here just now and actually probably have no less than I did before I started this thing. So we went on that carbon journey and the net zero journey to actually learn what it all means. And so I was taking about Tabitha Jane. So Tabby and a guy called Gavin Tweedy, so they were kind of the main people who started Net Zero Nation. They knew this stuff. So what you were getting rid of a lot of the noise and actually then going, do you know what? Tell us what these things actually mean. Tell us what it means to a business. Tell us what it means to a person.
Yeah. It's because I think there's a lot of category. I'm going to use a jargon word. It's all siloed. I know. I can't believe we've just said that.
Well done.
But there is a lot of compartments, and I'm reading a book just now about it's like eco anxiety. It's a youth leader that's written it, and she's saying that it is about, like, it's intersectional. It has to be like that, and I think that's why the information you get is so here, there's this, because it can be like a minefield, but actually if you just can bring it together, it makes a lot more sense. But I don't know, it can be really complicated.
But I don't think it needs to be.
No,
right?
No.
And what happens is don't get me wrong, it's a bit better now, but back then, because it was becoming a new fad and everybody was wanting to talk about it, everybody was trying to make out they were experts and just hit you with hundreds of jargon and hundreds of crap.
There's a lot of jargon, but I think there's because sorry, I know we're running out of time. One of the projects that one of the things that the Resilience Hub has been focusing on, there's a thing called the Resilience Science Must Knows that got created last year. It was like an amalgamation of like 200 scientists, and it was like the top things that you should know about resilience, but they are then turning that into, but how do we turn that into practical terms? If we took this to a policy leader in a organisation or a country or a community, what does that actually mean in not layman's terms, but practicalities of XYZ? Because the science part of it and that is so disconnected to how people actually implement whatever that means. So just what you're saying, it's like simplifying it for people to actually go, oh, this is within our realm of... Yeah,
it's having all of these scientific facts, what it's going to do, and putting them into a position where your everyday Joe understands it and how they can actually make a difference. And we see that every day in our work. We look at all these complex different data streams. 99% of the world don't have a clue what it is. So we then have to try and simplify that into something that everybody knows. Right? And that's where we're seeing the biggest growth in our organisation, is taking all this complexed out of something and saying, right, that's what you've got, that's what we've found, that's what you need to do, job done.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. We could, Andrew, right? We could change the world here, mate. Right? We'll go and put Ail's a vision in for full global sustainability practices. Right? This is what you've got. All these scientists said, and we're saying, put stuff in your bin.
There you go, that's it. That's the crux of it. Put stuff in your bin. Turn your lights off.
Turn your lights off. Right, stop covering your radiators. Right, because we were actually, I know we're running out of time, but we had articles in the Sun and all that kind of stuff where we were looking at how, like, people can be more energy efficient when the winter comes in and stuff like that. And You actually don't realise how little people know about this. Like covering your radiators. Why do you not cover radiators? Everybody says, in case the thing goes on fire. No, really, because you're now using about 3-4 times the amount of energy to try and heat your room because you've covered the heat source. Ta-da! Right? But nobody, people don't know. Right, okay, right, Karen, listen. Is there anything you want to finish off with? Because we probably went over.
No, it was just great to chat. I hope that was useful.
I think it definitely was for me.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is for everyone else, as I say, because we do have a lot of people that are trying to make a difference, that follow our business. So hopefully that's helped them, because you know what it's like as well. You feel like sometimes you're this lonely person on this lonely journey. Nobody else believes in it, but you think you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So it'd be good for people that are like going, do you know what? I still believe in this. But nobody's talking about it anymore, nobody's anything else. Just to hear the fact that, right, you might not see or hear it, but there is still lots of good going on.
There's a huge community out there, yeah. But I only get to see the surface of it as well. So, you know, it's fascinating.
Good.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
No, thank you. It's been great. Thank you.
Good.
I can eat my Empire biscuit now.
Eat your Empire biscuit. I'm going to, I'll just eat the caramel off the top of that, then I'm not going to eat the rest because I'm going to play golf.
Right.
But we'll get these eaten, and no, that was great. And I think, as I say, I'm sure this won't be the last time that we speak, and I'm sure Audrey will going to be in touch, because I think there's good things we can do.
Great.
And by the way, so one of the things we'll just finish on, we're actually going to try and drive a legislation change.
Okay.
Right, on energy consumption in high energy sector businesses. So you've heard it here first. We're going to try and actually drive that. There's been talk about it. Andrew and I met a politician one day and I said, I think we can help you. Right?
Brilliant, yeah.
Guess what? He just ignored me. So
Okay.
screw him. Screw him, right? We're going to do it anyway, and we're going to try and do it through different channels, so you might be able to manage an event for us that can say, let's change the world.
Why not? Yeah, sounds good.
There you go.
I'm
love
on
it.
board.
Right. Thank you very much, everybody that's still watching just now. Karen, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And Andrew, thank you. And have